Hey everyone, French Tutor here. Today let's talk everything about Chisa, a 5-star Havoc Broadblade user who is a healer that can deal considerable damage, buff resonators who utilize negative statuses, reduce and ignore defense, and shield party members. Let's go over her kit, how to optimize her, some advanced tech, useful animation cancels, her rotations, her builds, teams, sequence nodes, and much more. Feel free to use the timestamps as there are a lot of useful advanced tech and rotations. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on anything. And disclaimer, this guide was recorded from the media server. Things may be subject to change in the final release version. Check the pinned comments down below if there are any changes. Thank you, and let's get right into it. First, let's talk about her basic kit. Her basic attack sequence starts with 2 basic attacks, followed by chain attack 1 that lunges her forward, into a scissors attack that's basic attack 3 to 5, ending with chain attack 2. Basic attack 3 to 5 heals all resonators and is considered resonance liberation damage. Chain attack 2 can trigger dodges when attacked. Her heavy attack launches Chisa and smaller enemies upwards. Press normal attack to follow up into mid-air chain attack, or hold normal attack to follow up into mid-air heavy attack. And then this follows up into mid-air chain attack. After landing with mid-air chain attack, you can follow up into basic attack 3 to 5. She also has a normal mid-air attack. After landing, press normal attack to follow up into basic attack 2. Her intro also skips into basic attack 2, and dodge counter is essentially basic attack 2. Now for her Forte Circuit. Her Forte is called Ring of Chainsaw, which holds up to 100 points, and it's the first gauge on top right here. You can restore Forte by hitting with all your normal attacks, your normal resonance skill, and intro gives you 20 points. Once you have a full Forte gauge, you unlock your enhanced resonance skill called Serrated Loop, and Chisa enters Chainsaw mode. Tap your resonance skill to stagnate and slightly pull in enemies, and this skips to enhanced basic attack 2, or hold your resonance skill to continuously pull in enemies, and the pulling range increases over time. This eventually follows up into enhanced basic attack 1. Enhanced basic attack 1 is a horizontal slash. Enhanced basic attack 2, she rides on her chainsaw. Enhanced basic attack 3 is a vertical slice. And finally, she has a Forte finisher that's a jump attack. And these are all considered resonance liberation damage. Plus, they all consume Forte. You can hold enhanced basic attack 2 and 3 for more damage, concerto regeneration, and most importantly, it consumes more Forte for a stronger Forte finisher. Every 1 point of Forte consumed increases the damage multiplier of your Forte finisher. Her Forte finisher also grants shield to all resonators on the team, and once you use this skill, it consumes all Forte and ends chainsaw mode. You also have 2 optional enhanced basic attack chains. While holding during enhanced basic attack 2, release normal attack or dodge with no direction to use enhanced basic attack 2 chain. This move can trigger dodges. While holding enhanced basic attack 3, release your normal attack to use enhanced basic attack 3 chain. As of now, this does not trigger any dodges. One small note, if you're interrupted during your chain attack sequence, tap normal attack to start with enhanced basic attack 1, or hold normal attack to start from enhanced basic attack 2. Her enhanced dodge counter is essentially enhanced basic attack 2. You can either tap normal attack, or hold normal attack to attack continuously. For her resonance liberation, she deals damage and recovers HP for her whole team. In scissors mode, this follows up into basic attack 2. And this can be cast in mid-air. This also sends Chisa into Woven Myriad conversions for 15 seconds. In this mode, her damage multipliers of her enhanced basic attacks and her Forte finisher are increased by 120%. Additionally, the Forte consumed by enhanced basic attacks increase the damage multiplier of your Forte finisher by another 120%. So you definitely want to use her liberation before you start chainsaw mode. Now let's talk about her special marking ability called Unseen Snare, which look like triangular prisms. And these markings do a few things. Any marked targets will have their defense ignored by 18% by Chisa, thanks to her ability Thread of Bane. And when she attacks marked targets, she inflicts 1 stack of Havoc Bane, which is a negative status that can be triggered once every 2 seconds. Havoc Bane basically reduces defense, but I'll explain more later. There are 4 ways to mark enemies. First, her resonance skill will map out targets, and her next normal attack is going to be Chain Attack 1. This can be cast in mid-air, and it still follows up into Chain Attack 1. In Chainsaw mode, this follows up into Enhanced Basic Attack 2. The second way is by using your enhanced resonance skill. The third way is by using her special dodge counter. Hold dodge while you're dodging to map out and mark targets. And your next basic attack will be chain attack 1. In chainsaw mode, you'll skip to enhanced basic attack 3. And lastly, locking onto targets will mark them. Also, let's talk a little bit about her echo skill. So it's not a summon or transformative one, but it has its separate skill animation. That means that it could interrupt some of your attacks, so you want to be careful and time them correctly. It's a 2-hit attack, and it has a slight delay on the second hit. And because of this, it's very good at applying Havoc Bane, since applying Havoc Bane has a 2-second cooldown. And the last important thing is, it does scatter smaller enemies, so the best way to use it is before your liberation, because you can scatter enemies, and then your liberation's AoE should cover and attack all of the enemies. Plus, you get some energy back, and then use your enhanced resonance skill to pull them back in. Now let's talk about her outro skill and learn how she supports her party members. Her outro grants a party-wide buff called Resonant Thread of Closure for 20 seconds. When an attack hits, it increases the max stacks of negative statuses and Electro Rage, which you don't have to worry about right now because that's a future negative status thing. It will increase the stacks by 3 for 15 seconds. And this is unstackable. So it's very similar with Arrow Rover's outro with Arrow Erosion stacks. And second, inflicting negative statuses or dealing negative status damage grants Thread of Bane. And remember, this is the passive. When targets are affected by Unseen Snare, you can ignore 18% of their defense. Now this is a good time to talk about Havoc Bane. This is the negative status that Chisa applies, and it reduces defense on targets. Each stack reduces defense by 2%, and this normally stacks up to only 3 times. But after using her outro, she can gain up to 6 stacks of Havoc Bane. And as long as your other resonators are attacking targets marked with Unseen Snare, Chisa will apply Havoc Bane off-field. So once you get up to 6 stacks, you can reduce up to 12% defense. So how do we make sure we can apply Unseen Snare when Chisa is off-field? If we look at her second inherent skill, when resonators in the team with Thread of Bane, which we just talked about, defeats a target marked by Unseen Snare, Chisa is going to gain something called Sight of Unraveling, which lasts for 3 seconds. This lets Chisa inflict Unseen Snare that lasts for 30 seconds on targets damaged by these resonators that have Thread of Bane. So basically, she's constantly marking enemies off-field as long as you defeat targets. Also part of her second inherent skill, you can gain 20% Havoc damage bonus and 20% healing bonus for 12 seconds if you cast your intro skill or your Resonance Liberation. For her first inherent skill, when a resonator in the team defeats a target marked by Unseen Snare, her resonance skill cooldown is reset, and this can be triggered every 3 seconds. Now for her basic rotation without an intro skill, first start with a resonance skill so that you can ignore defense, plus you want to inflict stacks of Havoc Bane to reduce defense, then chain attack 1 into basic attack 3, 4, and then 5, and then into our chain attack 2, echo into liberation. That echo skill should give you the max 3 Havoc Bane stacks. And then after her liberation, let's use our enhanced resonance skill with a full Forte gauge. Let's hold into enhanced basic attack 2, hold enhanced basic attack 3, and then finally your Forte finisher. You definitely want to hold here your enhanced basic attacks because you'll get a full concerto gauge that way. The intro rotation is very similar. You start off with resonance skill, but now you can skip your chain attack 2 since you have enough Forte from basic attack 3 to 5. And technically, you don't have to hold your enhanced basic attacks anymore because you get enough concerto from your intro, but it's preferred for more damage. Plus your other resonators might have their skills on cooldowns. Now let's learn some useful animation cancels. Swap canceling your chain attack and coming back into basic attack 3 is very useful since chain attack 1 is kind of slow. So try something like this. Use your resonance skill, chain attack 1, swap to another character, and then come back to do basic attack 3. Next, let's swap cancel basic attack 4 when she widens her scissors. If you swap out, she'll automatically do basic attack 5, closing the scissors. Then you want to swap cancel to another character, come back in for chain attack 2. Now when you use her enhanced resonance skill, you can swap out here because the animation takes really long. Lastly, for your Forte finisher, you have 2 options. Once she slams down onto the ground, you should have full concerto, and then you can just switch right away then. Option 2 is that when you sometimes cast your Forte finisher, you do have enough Concerto, probably because you parry somebody. So as soon as she jumps, sometimes you can just swap out. Now here's some advanced tips with Ciaccona. It's very helpful for her to use her mid-air attack 2 and land with basic attack 4. This can speed up Ciaccona's rotation so much. First, start off with Chisa's mid-air chain attack. Now use Ciaccona's mid-air attack 2 into basic attack 4 into resonance skill. Switch back in, and then do your basic attack 3 to 5. But the timing has to be almost perfect to do this. If you can't do it fast enough, just take out Ciaccona's resonance skill. But when Chisa has her intro, here's a sequence you can try. Use Chisa's intro into her heavy attack, and then into mid-air heavy attack, into mid-air chain attack, quick swap into Ciaccona, mid-air attack 2 into basic attack 4, resonance skill, and then Chisa's resonance skill into echo into liberation. If you liked the video so far, please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Before team rotations, Chisa just has a few extra things to her kit. She has a gliding mechanic where you can maneuver around on her weapon, and you can glide in 6 different ways. Press dodge during your mid-air heavy attack, during a mid-air resonance skill, during a mid-air chain attack 1, right after you land during chain attack 2, press dodge when launched in mid-air, and finally you can just double glide. So this move has 2 purposes. It can trigger successful dodges. Also, you can drag enemies that are marked by unseen snare, and you can hold dodge to glide a longer distance. But of course, this has a limit. She has a separate Forte gauge on the bottom right here called Life Thread Jetstream. You can hold 100 points, and you just regenerate this over time. You gain 100 points if you defeat a target, or if you exit chainsaw mode. And she just needs a minimum of 10 points to do her Life Thread glide. Lastly, this Forte gauge turns into Chainsaw Fever. Basically, it depletes if you don't attack enemies during chainsaw mode, and this is the burnout state. Chisa exits chainsaw mode. And to get out of burnout state and go back into your chainsaw mode, just deal any damage, use your liberation or your intro. This mechanic you don't have to worry too much, it's nothing too serious. Just know that it exists. Now for team rotations, starting with Cartethyia. Start with Cartethyia's resonance skill into Ciaccona's mid-air attack 2, into basic attack 4 into resonance skill, into Chisa's resonance skill into chain attack 1. And then into basic attack 3, 4, and then 5, into chain attack 2. Let's use our echo skill and then liberation right here. Use your enhanced resonance skill, and then let's do our enhanced basic attack 2 hold, enhanced basic attack 3 hold, into Forte finisher, into Ciaccona's intro, skip to basic attack 4, enhanced heavy attack dash cancel, optional echo skill. If you have Kelpie, you don't need this. And then let's use our liberation. Into Cartethyia's intro, skip to basic attack 2, 3, resonance skill, let's use enhanced plunge attack, echo into our liberation. We switch into fleur release. Let's use resonance skill 1, mid attack 1, 2, 3, come down. Let's use enhanced basic attack 3 to 5, and then resonance skill part 2 into enhanced basic attack 3, and then enhanced basic attack 4 and 5 are optional, and then let's use liberation part 2, and then that's your full rotation. Okay, now normal speed, so we're gonna set up really quickly right away. Yeah, it looks extremely fast in normal speed here. And we're gonna set up, go into our liberation. We should have full damage on our liberation there. And then we just go into chainsaw mode, do our thing, Forte finisher, go into Ciaccona, and then we can easily do enhanced heavy attack, dash cancel into echo, optional echo into liberation, and then Cartethyia bread and butter, intro, basic attack 2, 3, enhanced, just regular resonance skill, echo, liberation, and then we're going to do resonance skill 1, and then use our mid-air attacks into our enhanced basic 3, 4, 5, and then resonance skill 2, and then do another basic attack sequence, and then liberation part 2, and that's it. Now Zani team rotation, start with a resonance skill into basic attack 3, into Phoebe's hold resonance skill for confession, and then into Chisa, let's do resonance skill into chain attack 1, into basic attack 3, 4, 5, chain attack 2, echo skill into liberation. Now let's use enhanced resonance skill into enhanced basic attack 2 hold, into enhanced basic attack 3 hold, into Forte finisher, go into Phoebe's intro, cancel this animation with liberation, And then we're going to use her resonance skill, dash cancel, enhance basic attack 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 2 sets of these. Don't forget to dash cancel, enhance basic attack 3 to make it faster. Use the echo skill. Let's go into Zani. Let's use her enhanced resonance skill here into her liberation. Part 1. Optionally, you can hold normal attack here so that you can do 3 sets of enhanced basic attack 3s, or you can just do 2 sets of enhanced basic attack 3s here. But you can see here that I'm going to do 3 sets, and that's going to give me just a lot of damage here. But the last one isn't going to do too much. And then finally, let's use Liberation Part 2 into our Echo skill, and then we're done. In full speed, it's going to look like this. Just set up everything really quick here. And then well, let's use our Liberation, get that damage buff for our enhanced basic attacks in chainsaw mode. And then let's use her Forte finisher, go into Phoebe, intro, cancel that animation with Liberation. And then let's use her resonance skill, dash cancel. And then we need to set up the spectral frazzle stacks for Zani here. And then let's go into Liberation with Zani here. And then again, just in preference, I just hold here so that I can do more enhanced basic attack 3s here. But that's totally up to you. But I think it's pretty helpful if you want to like finish off an enemy like quickly, like in this situation. And then let's go and just finish everything off. Now for Forte prioritization, first level your Forte Circuit, followed by your Liberation, then your normal attack, then your resonance skill, and then finally your intro. I would max out your Forte Circuit and your Liberation. Normal attack, keep it at level 8 to 10. Resonance skill, you can keep level 6 to 8. And then I'll keep her intro level 6 to 8. Now for weapons. Her signature weapon, Kumokiri, has pretty low base attack but very high crit rate. You can stack up to 24% liberation damage bonus, and at max stacks of this, resonators on the team that inflict negative status can get 24% all attribute damage bonus, so her best weapon for support and DPS. Note, as of now, Zani cannot get this attribute damage bonus from her weapon, just because when she uses her enhanced resonance skill, it doesn't count as applying a negative status. If this changes, I will leave a pinned comment. Lupa's weapon is really good for her for higher base attack and crit damage, but the crit damage ratio is not as high as her signatures. It gives the same amount of liberation damage bonus, and there are ways to give 24% fusion damage bonus. This could work with Changli, but it's not the best weapon skill to have. But the damage on the weapon is really good, so if you somehow get really high crit rate, I really do recommend this weapon. Aegis of a Harvest is a decent weapon for her with crit rate. It gives you attribute damage bonus, and the resonance skill buff is not the best, but at least it could work with her resonance skills. Same goes with Verdant Summit, but this is less useful since she doesn't really use heavy attack much. Thunderflare Dominion has very high base attack, but the crit rate is much lower, so you would need really high crit rate in order to use this, and the weapon skill is useless for her honestly, so I would honestly stick with the other previous options. Her free-to-play option Lustrous Razor is a pretty decent option for the energy regen, and you can get resonance liberation damage bonus. So even though it doesn't have any crit stats, it has really good synergy with her. Normally you can only have 2 stacks of the liberation damage bonus, but when you defeat some enemies, you can get that 3rd stack when you reset her resonance skill cooldown. For 4-star options, if you have Autumn Trace, it works well with her. It's good for the crit rate, and you'll get some attack percent. Aureate Zenith is not as good, because only the attack percent buff is useful, and it's not even that much. Now we can finally use a craftable weapon. Meditations on Mercy is really good, since Chisa is always applying Havoc Bane, so I highly recommend this weapon. I think Waning Redshift is a very good balanced weapon for her, since it gives you some resonance energy, and gives you a good amount of attack. If you're unable to get any of those weapons, you can use the Helios Cleaver too, and if you're just starting out, Broadblade of Night can work. Now for Echo builds. Chisa is going to use the new 3-piece set Thread of Severed Fate. Inflicting Havoc Bane increases your attack by 20%, and gives you 30% resonance liberation damage bonus for 5 seconds. It doesn't have any support capabilities, so this is her best Echo set in general. And then for the 2-piece sets, you have 2 options. You could do a 2-piece Havoc Eclipse set, or a 2-piece Midnight Veil set. If you're unable to get the new 3-piece set, just use a 5-piece Havoc Eclipse. Her cost for Echo is going to be Reminiscence, Threnodian, Leviathan. It's going to give you 12% Havoc damage bonus and 12% Liberation damage bonus. For main stats, cost 4 you want crit rate or crit damage, cost 3 echoes you want havoc damage bonus, and cost 1 you want attack percent. For substats, prioritize crit rate and crit damage, and then energy regen and attack percent equally, followed by liberation damage bonus, and flat attack. Attack is really good for her damage, healing, and shield. Now for teams, Chisa works best with negative status teams, and she'll be supporting a lot of future characters later on. As of right now, the Cartethyia and Ciaccona team is her best team, and everything in Chisa's kit is going to work with Cartethyia, including her signature weapon. And Chisa's mid-air attacks work really well with Ciaccona too, since if you use Ciaccona's mid-air attacks, she can get a full Forte gauge faster, and they do a massive amount of damage, which makes Cartethyia even stronger. But remember, S6 R5 Arrow Rover is still really good, so no pressure to pull, but Chisa is a really good investment for future negative status characters. Next up we have Zani and Phoebe. Chisa will replace Shorekeeper here. Zani can utilize most of Chisa's kit, but still Chisa is a big buff for this team. Funny enough, Chisa buffs Phoebe a bit, even though Phoebe's damage is not great, but there's something going on here. Feel free to slide in Ciaccona if you don't have Phoebe. DPS Phoebe is kinda making a comeback here. I think with Spectral Rover they work really well together, and Rover can dish out even more damage now. So if you're a fan of using DPS Phoebe, here's your other option. Feel free to slide in Ciaccona over Rover if you want. If you're not going to use a negative status team, Chisa's not your optimal option, but she's still really good. She will still help your other party members reduce defense. So any sub DPS plus a main DPS can work with Chisa, and think of her as just a healer that deals a good amount of damage and has decent support capabilities. Also were teams where the third slot is very flexible. A Frolova and Cantarella team can work, and Frolova can buff Chisa's Havoc damage. The damage output is definitely there. I think an Augusta and Yuno team works really well too. This is the shield team. Augusta can slightly buff anyone in the third slot here, so that benefits Chisa. And Chisa can support a bit with Havoc Bane defense reduction, so I really like this team too. Also in a Galbrena and Choyen team, Choyen can give crit damage to both resonators, and this is where Chisa can do a little bit more damage, so this team can work too. Here's a more free to play friendly option. You can do something like this, and you can make a mono Havoc team. For DPS Chisa teams, this gives Chisa the best personal damage. For the Liberation boss from Jianshin, Changli can work here too with Liberation damage bonus, and this has better overall team damage. And if you like, you can also use Yanlin. Now her sequence nodes, S1 gives your chainsaw attacks immune to interruption, and then it upgrades your unseen snare. It increases her attack by 30% for 15 seconds, and then this deals 61,803 damage. Very specific number. Sometimes her liberation does this amount of damage too. And the most their HP can be reduced by is 61.8%, with enemies with less HP. For S2, she ignores 10% of a target's Havoc resistance, and Resonators in Threat of Bane gain 50% all attribute damage bonus. So this is a really great support and DPS sequence node, and this also works for Chisa too, so it's a pretty good investment in my opinion. S3 is where you can play Chisa more as a main DPS, so now her damage multipliers for her chainsaw attacks are increased by a further 120%, and this stacks with the Liberation buff also, and also another additional 120% damage multiplier for the Forte you consume, which buffs up your Forte finisher. Plus your Vibration strength reduction is increased by 50% for your chainsaw attacks, and this is actually really good for support, right? Since you can destroy shields faster. S4 is honestly just okay, so instead of waiting 2 seconds to apply Havoc Bane, now it's only going to be 1 second, so she's going to apply Havoc Bane faster. Her S5 gives her Liberation a 100% damage bonus, and she's going to use less Forte when she glides now, so she can glide up to 4 times now in a row. So S6 makes her a stronger DPS. First, if she takes a fatal blow during her chainsaw attacks, she'll survive with 1 HP, and this upgrades your Unseen Snare into Unseen Snare Finality. It has all the effects of Unseen Snare already, but now they take 30% more damage from negative statuses. But most importantly, targets affected are going to take 40% more damage from Chisa, so this is just going to make her much stronger. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments what you think about Chisa, and good luck on all your polls. If you liked the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, and join our Discord for a small and positive community. All the links are down below. If you need any more character guides, they're on the left right here. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Take care now.